I'm Michael Swain and I'm posted in Madrid. Well, it's actually not true that the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plains. Actually, it doesn't fall on the plain. The Spanish desert is quite arid. But once you go across the mountain range to the north, to Galicia, to the Basque country, that's when all of a sudden you go from this dry, arid plain to terrain that seems very much like New Zealand, very lush and very green, rolling hills down to the sea. So, if I want to feel homesick, I go to Galicia or the Basque country. And when I've been in the Basque country, people have said that they feel a real kind of empathy and connection with New Zealand as a small country, as a country that's very connected to the land and to the sea. There's two big things for us at the moment. The first is the Security Council and the Helen Clark UNSG campaign. So Spain is a member of the E10 with New Zealand, and they've been, I think, good allies of ours on the council on things like working methods, Syria humanitarian, and other issues. So that's been a huge positive point for the bilateral relationship. And we have Helen Clark arriving for her campaign visit to Madrid. And then on the trade and economic side, obviously securing an FTA, a high quality FTA with the European Union is our big priority for Europe. If that happens, when that happens, I should say, it'll have I think quite a transformational effect on our trade with Europe and the way that we see the economic relationship with Europe. And Spain's been very supportive of us in that, so that's a big priority too. There's two things. One is that I think we are genuinely quite unique with our commitment to biculturalism with a multicultural overlay, and I think it's the bicultural part of that which is particularly unique to New Zealand. And curiously enough, in Spain, I also feel quite kind of face to face with the British treaty partner as well, because there's nothing like living in a Latin country to feel somewhat Anglo-Saxon. The Spanish, they talk about the Anglo-Saxon countries. There's a kind of respect for the sort of pragmatism and the getting things done about the kind of the Anglo-Saxon countries as they call them. So New Zealand is automatically associated with that. But for me, the other unique thing about New Zealand is that we are very small and very far away, and we are irrelevant if we don't do something about it. And I feel that in Spain, which is a much larger country and economy, we are the antipodes, we are the other end of the earth. And if we don't raise our profile, make our voice heard, if we don't engage and connect with Spain's interests, then there is no reason for Spain to take account of it. For me, one really important thing that we could do to strengthen our voice in international affairs is to be able to carry that voice beyond English. I think that's one of New Zealand's limitations, that we tend to be a fairly Anglophone country. Now we're becoming a slightly more bilingual country, but we very much confine ourselves to the English language. For me, one of the things that New Zealand could do better is to recognise more the need to speak beyond English, and also to be able to connect better with people for whom English is a second or a third or a fourth language. My wife's Spanish, her family is in Madrid, so we do a lot of family things, so I feel really quite connected to Spain at a kind of practical street level in that way. But it also sort of reminds me that as a parent, being on posting is quite different. There's a certain element of the kind of parenthood experience that is the same everywhere. So I find that we are much more having the kind of a similar parents' experience of what we might have elsewhere, and we are slightly less able to go out and check what's the latest bar and what are the restaurants of the moment.